What I have here is a stone scraper, something that is used for preparing hides when doing the leather process, leather making. You would have the raw hide of the animal. These are just representations of what rawhide is. Just a hard surface that is untanned, untreated, but it is free of hair. That is what the scraper is used for. It is placed on the surface, and it is used to remove the hair, the flakes, and prepare the leather, prepare the hide or skin to make into leather. So, in order to make the hide soft and supple, you need to remove the membrane layer when you skin and butcher it. It is going to be very dirty, very bloody, but that is what the scraper is used for. This is made out of stone. There are all types of stones to use, some quartzites, some flints. Some of them are made out of, this is a material called porcelainite. It is more light. The best types of scrapers were typically quartz, reflective and hard. They had lots of sparkles on them, but they held an edge for a long time. When you're making a stone scraper, you want to make sure it's rounded on part of an edge and then somewhat flat on the other. But one that could be held in the hand in a way like that. That way when you have this piece, you could scrape the hide. That's how you make this clean. Scrape all of the blood and membrane off. Then you have the clean skin. That is when you apply the brains, part of the liver, and a little bit of fat, some hot water. Cook that for a time, then you place that on the skin. That's your hide tanning solution. The scraper was one of the most important parts in the hide preparing process. If you're going to get a buffalo hide and work it, you need to have a good strong tool to do that. Typically they would get these and they would have a handle that they would use, one made out of elk horn in an L shape or one made of wood. If you're going to be scraping a lot of hides, you would get this scraper and you would tie that into that L-shaped handle. The longer bit going down, that way this could be used more like a, if you know what an adze is, it's a type of woodworking tool that is used to chip downwards on wood. This is pretty much just an adze that's used on hide, skin, to clean and prepare. But every family had one of these or multiple of these. These were typically disposable. If it got damaged too much and couldn't be repaired, you would throw it out. How you would go about making a scraper, you would find a good suitable rock, one that was knappable. A knappable stone is one that breaks in a type of fracture pattern, one that doesn't just crumble when you hit it. Sandstone, quartz, different types of materials. Some of them were better than others. Sandstone, no, soft. Quartz was perfect, but it was hard to get the right shape. A lot of scrapers were made out of stones that had they call it a conchodial fracture, or a circular type of fracture like that. Meaning like if you take glass and break glass, it comes off in circles, the flakes. That is typically a good sign of a material that is knappable. Something that is hard. They could use obsidian as scrapers too, but they wouldn't last that long. Flint, quartz, porcelainite were the good ones. You would take a stone that was a good size. You would find a river rock and you would whack that rock to shear off a piece from your knapping material. You typically got the outside portion. That way it would kind of have a divot like that. Clamshell shape. One that's bent downwards, one that's flat. That is a good scraping surface. good thing to get a grip on and the right shape for scraping. So, a piece of rawhide, you would remove all of that excess material, thin it down if you need to. By thinning down leather, it makes it more even. When you're doing the hide tanning process, if you have one piece of the buffalo hide that is too thick, you need to take a scraper and go and scrape that down till it's the right thickness. Otherwise, you're going to get a lumpy piece of leather, a lumpy robe. Then everyone in your tribe is going to shame you. They're going to call you Lumpy Robe. But yeah, that's an important part of the hide tanning process, the stone scraper. You can find them pretty much anywhere. A lot of people in North America, the ancient folk, you find these all over dig sites, archaeological places, but they're typically broken in half. If something's broken in half, well, that either means they're going to have a harder time using it or they discarded it. But you have them in various shapes, sizes, all for use on different types of animals. Some smaller for smaller game, some quite large for bison and moose, elk, other types of animals. But it all depended on the people and what you had. A lot of it was style as well. But that is the stone scraper.